Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily Six. Are you getting tired of family drama? I sure am. We got one more day of it, Genesis chapter 25. Get it open, and we got to go one layer deeper from bad to worse. It will get better tomorrow, I promise. But let's take a look at it, Genesis 25. Come on, let's talk. So Esau and Jacob had been at odds with each other from the very, very beginning. They were born as twins, Esau being the firstborn. But Jacob, as he came out, was grasping at Esau's heel, which was in the Hebrew language, it was figurative for someone who would be deceiving, deceptive, which was in fact the very life that Jacob lived. Manipulating, deceiving, conniving. Well, matters went from bad to worse when mom got involved. And mom brought added dysfunction into Jacob's life. I think it started in Genesis 25, verse 28, that Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, he loved Esau. Esau was a man of the field. He was a hunter. He was very skilled, and he would make food just the way that Esau liked it. And so there was this favoritism that connected with his son Esau, who was sort of that manly man, in our parlance. But Jacob was a little softer, a little quieter. He preferred to be around the house. We learned he was actually a chef. And in the latter part of verse 28, that Rebekah loved Jacob. So there was this division even happening between Isaac and Rebekah, this family dysfunction setting in. Well, as chapter 25 goes on, we see a particular story where Jacob was cooking some food. Verse 29, Esau came in from the open country famished. And he wanted from Jacob some food. He said, hey, can I have some of your stew? And Jacob made him swear off his birthright to give away his inheritance. You see, in that time frame, in that century, inheritance wasn't divided equally among the kids through last will and testament the way it is in our day and age. No, the inheritance was always passed from the father to the firstborn son, and it was then that firstborn son responsibility to delegate and divvy up the rest of the inheritance to the other siblings and so forth within the family. Well, you go over to chapter 27, and as Isaac was getting old, verse 1, his eyes were weak, he could no longer see, so he called for Esau's older son. And the son answered, in verse 2, Isaac said, I'm now an old man, and I don't know the day of my death. So go get your weapons, your quiver, your bow, go out to the open country to hunt for some wild game for me, and prepare for me the kind of tasty food that I like, and bring it to me to eat, so that I may give you my blessing before I die. This was going to be the moment where Isaac was going to pass on to Esau the entire inheritance. But, do you see that there in verse 5? Rebekah was listening. She saw this, and she intervened. She got with her son Jacob, whom she loved more than Esau, and she cajoled him and coached him into the most deceptive and manipulative thing you could ever do. So we don't have time to read it all. It's a long chapter, and I hope you will. I hope you'll give God 6 minutes when this video is over and read through this whole story. What Rebekah did was coach her son Jacob into pretending to be Esau, to get out in front of him and bring some food. She said, look, verse 8, look, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. You go out to the flock, you bring me 2 choice goats, and I will prepare some tasty food for your father just the way he likes it. And then you can take it to your father to eat, deceiving him, making him think that you're Esau, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies. Can you imagine? And it goes down as she tried, as she intended, and so Isaac mistakenly gives the blessing to Jacob, and in that day you couldn't reverse your word. It was kind of set in stone. It was cast as it would be. And when Isaac found out about it in verse 33, he trembled violently. He realized he'd been deceived. Esau, verse 36, isn't he rightly named Jacob? He's deceived me these 2 times. He took my birthright. Now he's taken my blessing. Verse 41, Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given to him. He said to himself, the days of mourning for my father are near, and I'm going to kill him, and I will kill my brother Jacob. So Rebekah sent Jacob away, and Isaac even got involved. They sent Jacob 500 miles away. Verse 46, Rebekah said to Isaac, I'm disgusted with living because of this, because of the Hittite women around me. And so, do you see what happens when things went from bad to worse? Esau spiraled into despair, murderous hatred. Isaac was filled with rage. Jacob became a fugitive fleeing 500 miles away. Manipulation and deception, they always wreak great havoc on our lives. That's why in Hebrews chapter 12, we're warned. He tells us in Hebrews 12:15, see to it that no one misses the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up and cause trouble and defile many. See that no one is sexually immoral, or no one is godless like Esau, who for a single meal sold his inheritance rights as the oldest son. Friends, I know this is a heavy, but we got to recognize that when families get out of control and families get dysfunctional, things get bad, and they go from bad to worse. So here's what I wonder if we could do before the news turns good. And friends, I promise you tomorrow is going to be better news than today. We're going to look in the New Testament, the promise of how God has chosen us to be a part of this family in a very special and holy and blameless way. But before then, could you give God 6 more minutes? And could you just slow down and ask the Lord, is there anything you need to show me about how my family, even my own choices, might move things from bad to worse? Can you give that to the Lord? Ask him to show it to you, reveal it to you. And then coming back tomorrow, promise Friday here on the Daily Six is going to be encouraging. We'll see you then.